Okay, Darius. What are we going to be working on?
I wanted to work on the Mozart Concerto, number 5.
Number 5? Okay. All right, great. Have you been working on it?
Yeah.
And tell me again where you're from. Oh, Maui,
Yeah.
right. Who's your teacher?
Teresa Skin.
Okay. Great. Let's hear what your A sounds like. I think we agree pretty well. Tune the rest of your violin. You want to show me what you've done with it so far? So let's see. Da-da-da-da-dum-bum, da-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum-bum, ba-da-da-da-dum. Good. Maybe that, since it's a short lesson today, that would be a good amount for me to respond to. And one of the things that's really nice is that you've got the piano part here with you so that we can look at that together. So let's see, these are the cadenzas, and this is another violin part?
That's the attacks.
That's the, Oh, I see, and what you're looking at is the edited version?
Yeah.
I got it. And then what I'm holding here is the piano part. And have you heard this piece much? Have you been
Yeah, I listen to it.
listening? And have you seen YouTube videos?
Yeah.
Like there's a wonderful YouTube video actually of Janine Janssen. Have you heard of her?
No.
She's wonderful Dutch violinist, and she's playing it with some European youth orchestra, and it's Vladimir Ashkenazi conducting. Janine Janssen, it's on your videotape. So I think it's Janine, and then the last name Janssen is Janssen. That would be an exciting one to listen to. So you know that the orchestra does this kind of fanfare or ritornello. And then my teacher always used to tell me to count to 2. I think of it as like 2 half notes. Because this kind of moves in half notes. 1, 2. And then I think, oh yeah, I love that the 8th note equals the half note from before, because then you can count. And then the orchestra comes in here, doing what kinds of notes?
I think it's 16ths.
They're actually 30 seconds, and I don't know how quick you are at math, but if the half note before becomes the 8th note, well then it would be the 8th note from before that becomes the 32nd note. So it's and one thing I really love about this is that it's neither major nor minor. Because a scale that goes da da dee da 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 dee da 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 da. It's not major, it's not minor. Do you know what it's called?
No.
It's called Mixolydian. It's a very exotic scale. Can you sing the orchestra part? It starts on the 3rd scale degree, the G sharp. Good. Well, you know, it's not exactly the right notes, but you have the right mood. And now, can you sing the solo part? Good. And this should fit with the orchestra. The 16 notes. All right, so play from the beginning now. Good. Good. I liked the way you breathed before you played that time. That was excellent. Now, I see that when we're doing an extension here, and it makes it a little harder to play smoothly. But sing for me once. Do, la, sol. Very good, because if you can sing it smoothly, you can figure out a way to play it smoothly. And then the next thing that comes up that's of interest, and this has to do with your technique, Darius, is that when you do your trill, it's not entirely crisp and clean. But we could come up with a singable version of the trill, like do, la, sol, so, fa, mi, fa, mi. Try singing it like that. Okay, so it's do, la, sol. So, and you like to start on the upper note, right? So, fa, mi, sing that. Good. start here on an up bow. I start right there. It's an up bow. Better. Good, that's better trill technique. Okay, now do the whole thing. Because one of the things we want to do is get really good counting in all of this, so that you'll fit with the orchestra. So go from the beginning now. Oh, you know, it was so much better when you breathed. Now, was that the right mood? Good. Good. Now, we want to make sure that the grace note doesn't change your rhythm. And I have another idea that would be really good. And I'll write it in here. It would be no retake. Perfectly okay to pick up your bow slightly to breathe, but see, this will work so much better at the tip. Now sing na da dum pia da dum da de da. Let's sing it without the grace note once. Da dee dum da da dum. Good. Now in all of that, which note do you think is the most important one? The second one, right? Da dee dum da da da. Sing it again. That had a nice emphasis to it. Now, da-da, da-da, it's a 30-second pickup. Da-dee-dum, da-da-da. Sing again. Good. Now, the grace note we fit in there quickly, but it's the A is the important note. So, da-dee-dum, ti-ya-dum, dum. Good, now play it. Remember to do it at the tip. Use the tip of your bow. Good. That worked really well. And I think not only did you do the grace note beautifully, but then the next thing I'd like you to do is some beautiful vibrato on the A, since that's the most important note. Good. Okay, a lot of beautiful stuff there. Now, tell me about the dynamics in this whole section. What do you think Mozart didn't write much in the way of dynamics? Do you think that there are places where you should be especially quiet, places where you should be especially loud? Sure, like leading into where the orchestra enters. And it just occurred to me that when I wrote those two half notes in there, somebody might think I wrote pianissimo. I didn't really mean to write pianissimo, but yeah. Then this is a place where we call this a deceptive cadence. We're not expecting that chord, so we play quietly there. Then the rest of this we might be fuller, and maybe this place would be the most when we start the trill. And then this is almost like a postscript or an afterthought. Make it very little. Now you made up a new bowing here. You're doing this all in one slur. I think maybe it'll be better if we... Good. Now, this is not quite as beautiful as before, and it's because of the emphasis of notes. We really want this to be the most and then it's to be less. Good. Yeah, so what would you like your fingering to be? You want to not do that? Third finger. Yeah, does that work well for you?
That's fine.
Okay, good. Sing it for me now. Great. Now, when you sing that, I'd like it to be as though you had a big jar of honey and you tipped it over. And I'd like your voice to sound like that, like the honey spilling out. So it's like, and you notice how the honey was, at first it would come out slowly, but then once you tip it far enough, it gushes out. Sing. Good, and you have to keep your sound really big for the piano coming up. All right, play this for me. Big. Yeah, very quiet at the end there. Now, my only disagreement was you played, I like that you played it big, but you played it sort of violently, like it was something from the Mendelssohn Concerto or something, and I think it should be round and warm. We don't have to go over it now, I'll just write that in as a reminder for that to be round. Good. Good. Okay, and then happy allegro aperto. Let's hear it. You want to try it again? Actually, sing it once. Good. Try a couple of things. Really sing in character, and second of all, when you go up to the E, make sure that your pitch doesn't spread in the direction that you're traveling. Ta da dee da dum pa. Good. Can you give it even now? You know what the orchestral violins have to do while you're doing that. And then, so your tempo in your character has to be like ya da dee da dum ba, very heroic. Do it again. Good. Now you chickened out a little bit going to the high note. Make it heroic. Da da dee da yum bum da dee da dum. That's better. Okay, let's try playing it now. Good. Now, a lot of this will be easier if your bow is a little heavier and sticks to the string. I'm talking about specifically this part. Don't be fooled by, oh, did your teacher want you to take it off the string? Okay, so that's a different technique. easy, but I guess it's a matter of being in the right part of the bow, and then we have this tricky bowing pattern. Show me how you do that bowing pattern on the open E string. Good. And I think if you watch your stick, you'll see that your stick actually is bouncing a little bit. Good. I think that's nice articulation. So try from right there. Except this should come out down bow. And I think when you get here, I know that this part's a little tricky, but if you play near the tip of the bow with a kind of a heavy, sticky bow, it'll help. Good, and then don't forget the afterbeat on the trill. Good, okay. Bravo, okay. Now, the next thing is that in this whole section, there's a kind of recurring motive, something you hear over and over again, which is beat 1 and beat 2. And beat 1 and beat 2 are both strong, but one is a tiny bit stronger. So, like this, 1, 2. Da 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 dum ba, da 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 dum dum da dee. Sing it for me again. Good. Now the trick is, to have such a big personality and a big character that ya da dee da yum ba dum ba. You can make one so strong that even though 2 is not as strong, it's still strong. Sing it again. Can you da da dee da do? Very strong getting to the top. Good. Okay, play. Very nice. Okay, so going on. Oh, actually, no, that's a good place to stop. Yeah, so are there any other pieces that you're going to want to work on with me while we're here?
Possibly.
Oh. The Concerto number 9. Okay, great. Well, that's probably enough for those 3 weeks. All right, good work. So Darius, if you're ever having any questions about anything you're working on and it's between lessons, feel free to, stop me in the cafeteria or come ask me a question. Do you have a cell phone while you're here?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I could give you my cell phone number. I penciled my cell phone number here on the bottom of your Mozart.